Okay. So as of now, we have completed the first step, right? That is staging to file to staging. Correct? I hope everyone completed. That's why I given a gap here. So do you know exceptions in PLSQL? Exceptions. Anyone knows? How many types of exceptions? What are they? Yes, perfect. Predefined, user defined. So what are the predefined exceptions? Hmm? Yeah, tell whatever you know. Wrong, right, whatever. Null pointer always on Java. This is PLSQL. Next. Yes, perfect. చూసారా ఫోన్లో ఏమన్నా దానివల్ల యూజ్ ఏంటి ఫోన్లో చూసి చెప్పడం వల్ల నేనేమి అవార్డు ఇవ్వట్లేదు కదా టూ మెనీ ఎర్రర్స్ అదే సగం సగం చదువుతావు శిరీష అదే ప్రాబ్లం అయితే టూ మెనీ రోస్ ఇన్వాలిడ్ డేటా ఎక్సెప్షన్ ఇస్ అది ఇది కూడా సగం ఇది కాల్ కూడా కాదు జీరో డివైడెడ్ నెక్స్ట్ PLSQL not covered by PLSQL trainer. Okay. How to declare an exception? How many types of cursors? What are they? How to declare a cursor? How to declare cursor? Syntax. Syntax, cursor syntax. Means time is not open, fetch, close. Those are all the cursor control commands. How to declare it? Okay. I don't want to give more time because we are already given, right? So I'm directly get into package. Okay. So package syntax, this is the package syntax here. Create or replace package. And this is the user, in which user you are going to create a package. And if you want to register any procedure in Oracle applications, there are two parameters. We should not misplace these two parameters. The first is error buff and second here is red code. In the Unix, we have seen red code, right? Return code. It has certain values. Do you remember that return code values? Like some 0, 1. So 0 for what it is over there? Success. Okay. That is normal. We'll call it as a normal. There is no success. Then 1 for, but in this case it is what? And in this case it is for error. In case of Unix, as you said, you are right. 0 for normal. There is a difference I am saying. 1 for error over there. And 2 for warning. 3 for fatal error. These are all we discussed already in the Unix shell scripting videos. Okay. Anyway, just to know the difference, I typed over here. Error buff, what it will do is, it will give an error message here. These 2 points, okay? And these two are the out keywords, output parameters it is. So this is for specification. Package will have two parts here. One is specification, other one is body, package body. Just see the package body. This you have to create on your own, but same you can utilize. I'll apply some syntaxes here. So first portion is here global variables. I typed here to understand. You also need to type if you write some code in the form of commented section. You need to definitely mention some information. Then only people can understand here. Okay. So these are all coding standards. So if you are doing something, then definitely you have to write a comments in the form of this commented portion here. Global variables. So the purpose of global variable here is like how many records you are loading, how many records got errored out. These are all. These three for here, the number of records which you are about to process. And these are all successfully inserted. And these are all rejected. Overall 9 variables. So suppliers actually we are loading here 3 types of data. One is supplier, site, one more is contact. There is a bank also, banks, but we are not loading at this moment. Banks will load later. Only three files will get. On the last time we have loaded only suppliers, site contacts we have not loaded. So before executing a code, we'll load and we'll proceed. But meantime, let me explain. Okay. Go to body. I hope you are okay with these 9 variables. So we initialized 0 here, otherwise we'll give wrong count. So these are all G for global variable it is. We are going to print at the last. Go to last here. These are also FND file at put line. You are already aware of DBMS put line. DBMS output dot put line it is. So instead of DBMS output put line, we are using FND file dot put line and then FND file dot output here. Okay, in the application, if you open this, so it is slow. Let me load. Two more minutes, please. Very slow loading it is. Let it open. First step here is global variables. So what I will do, I'll type the code flow here so that you can easily understand. It is called as a pseudo code. It is pseudo code or else code flow. So I'll make you to understand within 10 steps only. Usually it is easy only, but as you don't know cursors, as you don't know procedure, you will feel definitely as a tough. So first is what it is, global variables. Purpose of global variables here is like how many records you are going to process and how many is like your system is rejected due to data errors. That is first step. Second layer is there is one procedure here. This procedure, by reading it, you can easily understand. We are doing supplier sites contacts validation procedure. Okay. Why this is required here is like your table right now, whatever you are processing, we don't know whether it is valid or not. Right now there is no data, correct? So if you want to load the data, we have already one option here, that is control file, correct? This is where we can see the control file, load data in file, insert, append it. These are all we already explained. I don't want to spend more time on this. Yeah, this we can use it here. So first go register as a concurrent program. I'm just pressing XX AP. All are having the same naming standards here. You need to upload this file into bin directory by using WinSCPs. Go to application server, Oracle, file system, then application, your module names are APTs, bin directory. All the control files you have to keep into bin directory only. And then control O, which is used to open a directory here. Control O here in the server or here also, local machine also. To open any directory, you can simply copy the path, and then you can use control O here. So this is the file, CTL file, control file. Keep into this, because without the data, you will not be able to understand. That's why I need to load at any cost. Your system is refreshed, that's why we lost the data. Last time you loaded, of course. Register as a program, correct? Is opening. Let's wait for a few more seconds. For you also it is same, like quickly opening, or it's taking time? Yeah, sometimes. So there are one or two websites like good actually, Java T Point. Okay. So in this you can find out all the tutorials, whatever you wanted. I don't know Oracle is there or not, but Python I have used it. PLSQL just check somewhere. Okay, you can see all the information here. PLSQL here. So do not prefer watching videos. You can see all the things, syntaxes, everything. PLSQL is like English only, right? It is not that much difficult. I don't know. On the day also I told you to go through all this. And one more is W3 schools. I prefer these two for time being. Okay. W3 schools, and then one more is Java T point. Go through that. You no need to depend on others also. With a peace of mind, you just if you sit, you can easily practice all this. Okay. Why it is taking time loss? Okay. Go to now system administrator and concurrent program executable. So move here in the top 10 list. You can click on this. Whatever the file name, you better use different file names for you for registration. Save. If it's already there, is it? Let's see. It's already there, loaded by someone on so and so date. How about the program? Search in the executable name, same name only it is, and it is having parameters as well, file path. Check whether it is mentioned already in the request group. Security responsibility request. Request group name is report. These are all steps, you know, that's why I'm going little fast, okay? Sex, AP. This one, right? Please enter unique. That means it's already there. So you can clear record if it is already there. See, clear record. Delete record you should not use. Okay, there are two options in the menu. Clear record. Now submit that so that you will be able to see the data. XX, supplier, loader. LD means loader. These are all the naming conventions we'll use. Wherever your file is there, that you have to give here. File, this is the one, AP suppliers. Okay. Same thing I'm giving here. Same file. Only two records, but usually in the company, you will get 30,000 records, 1 lakh record, millions of records also will be there. But if there are millions, we should not prefer this SQL loader. So two records per sample only. So if someone asks you how many records you loaded, say like 30, 20,000. Yes. That's why this loader is helpful, right? With one or two records, we can directly do a manual entry. Correct. Then why this much package, 1100 lines package? So you can utilize same piece of code in your project also. You don't need to write from scratch. How many types of files it will generate once you do control file? Files. What are they? Control file already done. Next. CSV file is input file. Yeah, data file is a CSV file. You know, right? These files, bad file, when it will generate. Bad file. So whenever there is a column mismatches, if it is already number, if you try to pass as a date, then it will give a error. Correct? Data type mismatches or junk data. Okay. And discard file it is when class. Certain category of records we have to load into one table. Master record into one table, detail record into other table. So at that time, discard file will give you. Okay. So all the files are there here. Now let's see how many records loaded. 2 rows loaded. Just check. Yeah, now fine. I'm okay to explain now from here. So this is the procedure we are talking about. Procedure is validation procedure. Why validation procedure required here is whatever the data which you are loading, we don't know at this moment. This is already there in the system. So every time you cannot go to application and then you can go to payables, responsibility, suppliers, inquiry. These are all time waste for them, correct? And this much data also they cannot validate. Right now, no such found. Results not found. Correct? No results found means it's a new record. So it is not loaded by anyone. So this how can you validate? So that is for that only this is PLSQL package is required. To validate columns which you are going to load, we have to use this procedure. Okay. So take this procedure only for validation. Validation of all the columns. Supplier name, alternative name is not required. And then priority. Payment priority must be between 1 to 99 only. If you take 101, you should not accept. If it is below 1, yes, or minus, only double digits, correct. Then currency. So this currency must be enabled here. So usually currencies you can see into GL module here. Okay. Go to general ledger or else go to payables for type. To show the currencies only I'm going payable. Here also is there. These currencies must be enabled here. See, right now I took as a AED and INR, all the recognized currencies will be available here. Okay. But this currency must be enabled for us. If it is not enabled, then your system will not allow you to load the data. So this is called as a validation. And in the same way, this currency must not be end dated. Sometimes they will end it. They don't want to use this. They don't want to use this from tomorrow onwards or today onwards. This is called as a end dating. With the by using effective dates, what we can do, we can make inactive. That is a one thing. Another one is disabling, enabling, disabling. These are all called as a validations. Validations means there are three things. There are a few more also, but right now I told three things. Second point is what it is validation procedure I am taking. This name is up to you just to make you understand I took. So what type of the validations you did? One is data duplication, correct? Then next one is end dating. It must not be end dated. And one more disable, enable, etc. Through a program, we are checking all this for every column. Okay. Now let me show you the package. So how to collect the data from this table? So right now this table is having only 2 records. These 2 records, all the columns we have to take into one buffer. So that is pointer we can say. Cursor. This is the syntax. Earlier I asked you how to declare a cursor is by using cursor name, then is select star from staging table, and where status flag is null. Why status flag role is required here is sometimes we'll load repetitively this data. So right now it is null. Null means new record. If it is already processed yesterday and we update it as error, then we should not consider that. That is the reason why status flag role. It is we only taken this status flag and error message to handle the errors. These two are additional, we can say. Okay, and this is our custom table. It is not provided by Oracle. This is our custom table. Yes. We are adding on the table. Adding, yeah. While creating a table, so last or whatever the sequence. Is that clear? Yes. So now tell me the syntax of cursor. Now PLSQL, I am teaching you right away. What is the syntax of cursor? How to declare a cursor? Very simple. It's like English only, right? Is that like Java? It's easy only. See, cursor, cursor name. This is your own name. You can put your name also. Cursor name is select statement. That's it. This select statement may be anything. So cursor declaration it is. Now second cursor. Why second cursor here is we are loading sites also. And third cursor is we are loading contacts also. And whenever you are loading sites, you must give a join between these two. Okay. The join condition is what it is, vendor ID. So suppliers and sites, what is the supplier table, you know, right already? AP suppliers. What is the join condition here? Vendor ID. Let's start from AP supplier sites all. The join condition is vendor ID. So that's why join condition vendor ID. There are two cursors at this moment. The relation between these two cursor here is vendor ID. So P I have taken as a parameter. Parameter vendor ID it is. So that parameter vendor ID we have to declare it. Okay. As of now, are you okay with this? Three cursors till here. So cursor name, vendor ID, vendor site code, as well as select statement it is. So now tell me how to declare a cursor. Cursor, cursor name is yeah. This is you failed just before. Okay, table name. Table name is the staging table. Where status flag. Exactly, you can give here. What is the value of it at this moment? Null. Okay. Then this is header cursor. Line cursor if you wanted. Same syntax. But here cursor name is there, right? So we have to put a parameter here. What is that parameter name? Vendor ID and its data type. Data type is number. Is select star from AP supplier sites table. Then one more and vendor ID is equivalent to this parameter. This is the way of write. It's not a big deal, okay? Yeah, that's fine. Those syntaxes and all you can take care. Just check if you want again. Cursor, sites cursor, vendor ID and its data type. These are all with the typing only it will come. So whenever you are practicing, open notepad, type by copywriting also I'm okay. Okay. Select. Why row ID is required here is exactly on which row you got error. That's why row ID I have taken. Row ID, row num, you know already. I no need to explain again. Where status flag is null and supplier number is equivalent to vendor ID. In this table, I took a column name as a supplier number. Otherwise, I could have taken vendor ID. Are you okay with this cursors? If you are not having clarity, let me know. By reading also, you can come to know. No much complicated. Till now, 50 lines coding is over. Okay. The second point is what it is. In the validation procedure, what we did, we took the point A is here, cursors. Clear? Now let's go. Forget about these local variables, we'll come to this. Now there is another one here. Create the error procedure to be called in the validate procedure. So we will validate one column, let's say supplier name column, and we'll call error procedure because we have to handle the errors, right? And we'll validate terms name, call the error procedure. After every column validation, we have to call the error procedure separately. Otherwise, your code will become lengthy. In each and every place, we should not handle the errors. Only one common error procedure, we'll call it simply. Okay? For code reusability, it is. Create the error procedure to be called in the validation procedure. So procedure syntax here, create or replace is not there. Why? Because it is part of the package body. If it is standalone, not related to any package, so at that time, create or replace, procedure, procedure name, these are all required. So in this case, syntax is not required here. So procedure, procedure name, this is our own name, and then table name. Which table you got error? Site table, supplier table, or contact table. So we have to notify that. And what is exactly error ID? And then what is the error description? So these are all we are simply entering into a table. This is the error table. This is also a custom table only. Just check what is the data it has. You know why it is not giving output? I am just querying this one, but why that is not giving? Any idea? Query to query? Yes. Query to query, there is a space is required. Okay. So there is no data at all. We have to handle the errors with this table. Conversion staging errors. This is custom table not given by Oracle. Okay. Body. So are you okay with this procedure? In this procedure, simply insert statement is there. Correct? Update error table is the error procedure. Point B here. Update error table by using error procedure. So procedure, error procedure name. It has some arguments, table ID, error ID, description. Correct? These are all we have to give. Then syntax is here, begin, exception, then end. In between begin and exception, what I did, I made it as a insert into error table. This is the pseudocode of this procedure. Simply one insert statement and certain parameters. If you want, you can go here again. Once you understand this, then only go with the further lines. Even if it takes whole day also, I am okay. Just check. Procedure, procedure name. Why P table name is required? I told you there are three tables we have. Supplier, site, and contacts. For all the three tables, single table only. Single procedure only. Insert into that particular table. Sysdate is required here to, whenever you are running, at that time it has to populate the sysdate. So sysdate is the creation date. When you got error, sysdate it is. And you need to commit it here, explicit commit required to commit the records into error table. Okay. I hope you are okay till now. 100 lines over, right? Till now, how many points we covered? Tell me. What are the first thing and second thing sequentially? First sequentially how to go. So that's why I mentioned here code flow here. See, first I mentioned global variables, then validation procedure. We are still talking about validation procedure only. Inside of a validation procedure, validations means I told you just to understand. I took cursors first, followed by error table by using error question. Is that okay? You want to see again? Okay, fine, good. చూసి ఎక్కడ మర్చిపోతావు అనలే. Next continuation. So how many records you are processing here right now? 2, right? So how your program will come to know is there is a count here. Count star will give you the number of records. So this is what it is. Select count star into G supplier found. G supplier found I already declared in the top. Correct? Global variable. Global means it is accessible across all the procedures inside of the body. That's why it's called as a global it is. Now select count star into global variable from table name where status flag is null. Right now status flag is null only. Correct? Why status flag is null means it is a new record. Status flag is null. Correct? Then in the same way, whenever you do supplier, followed by immediately site and contacts. This is site and this is contact. Now some more variables I declared here. We are going to insert into interface tables, correct? So that good variables like good records we are populating into supplier process, site, contacts processed here. If something goes wrong, we have to increment it to rejected record, site and contacts. Overall 9 variables, right? So again, these are all you don't need to reinitialize. If you go here itself we reinitialize to 0. Same variables only I mentioned here. Clear? Now for loop syntax, you know, for variable in cursor name it is. Cursor name we have already taken. LCU suppliers. Go up little. LCU. This one I am talking about. Okay, this is the cursor name. That cursor name we have taken as part of the for loop here. This one. Okay. For variable in cursor name loop. This is the syntax. If you don't know, just try to remember now at least. Tell me syntax of for loop. For variable name. For variable name in cursor name. Very simple, right? Is that okay? Then now here validation starts. I talked about validations, right? These are all data duplication, ending dates, disabling checkboxes and all. This portion will start over here. First statement. If the subrec is what it is, supplier record, what it is, which variable it is. Correct. It's a loop variable, for loop variable. Same thing. Earlier, the data was in LCU suppliers. Now the data is moved into a variable that is, yeah, if you want to refer any column, you have to refer this only now. Because the data is already transferred to this particular variable it is. Clear? Why it is required here is to process row by row. If you are processing 20,000 records, all 20,000 records, it has to loop it. That's why this for loop variable is required. So cursor data is moved into now for loop variable. Correct? Okay, come down now. See the statement. It's easily understandable. If we are checking now, if supplier record dot supplier number is null, then immediately supplier error we have to make it y. Yes, it is error because it is null. Right now, is it a null here supplier number? No. Sometimes supplier number you will not have. It will be a null value. So to identify that, with the small if statement, we are saying if supplier number is null or not null only just if condition it is. If it is null, what we are saying? Yes, it is error. But simply if we say error, how we can identify later which supplier is error? You are passing 20,000 records. So for that, we are attaching here, concatenating simply. So by using here pipe operator. See, can you see pipe operator here? Concatenation. By pipe operator, we are concatenating. Supplier number is null. And the same thing we are printing into a button here, fnd file.log. If you mention fnd file.log, if you go to view requests, find in this button it will be printed here, view log. There are two syntaxes. One is fnd file.put line fnd file.log and fnd file.out also. So instead of log, it will be out also. There are two buttons right here, output button and log button. Correct? It's like a DBMS only. Clear? End if and end if. If you don't understand this piece of code, let me know. Why two flags here is, we have two flags here. One is status flag, another one is error message. These two we are going to update now. We are checking this column is correct or not. If not correct, then immediately we update as error message. Okay. So, error number లేదు కనుక్కో సార్ కాల్ చేసి అయితే 1 second guys. మామా క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నా మామా మామా నేను మధు హలో హలో మామా వినపడలా మామా హలో 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 పాస్కోడ్ ఏమన్నా పాస్కోడ్ చెప్పి మళ్ళీ తీసుకోండి 120 kilometers speed తో ఏదో బ్రేక్ వేసినట్టుంది కదా నాకైతే అట్లాగే ఉంది ఓకే సో విల్ కమ్ టు హియర్ if we are validating the columns correct after validating we have to update with the status flag and error message correct now which column you have validated one is supplier number how to validate supplier number if supplier record dot supplier number is not null then immediately what you have to do is null or is not null is null it is then there are two flags one is exactly I'm not typing okay I'm just typing L error flag assignment operator is equivalent to y later we'll replace as a e okay remember that then one more is L error message not status already over is equivalent to your error message saying that supplier record dot supplier number okay concatenate because we have to put in the form of message right so like this is must not be null it should not be null then if condition is over and below that what you have to write like there is a syntax here fnd file put line then fnd file dot there are two buttons output button and the other one is log button here log saying that supplier number not valid or not there you can say any meaningful message ending that's it so this piece of code you have to write no much logics okay and if you want to validate the name what you have to do copy then paste it wherever number is there you have to keep your name okay clear so this is the way we can start writing validations so as of now two validations we did what are other validations just check in this file name is over number alternative name no need to validate the next is term name so terms do you know table name as of now in account payable you have seen right terms yes correct ap ఆలోచించడం ఎందుకు ap terms tl name here right now immediate we have data already in this file term name okay instead of showing excel sheet I am showing here itself term name is immediate if immediate is not there or any other abc value here so it is not able to validate with this particular table so obviously that is a different data if you get some other abc record which is not available in this table you will not be able to select it correct so obviously we have to make it as error that piece of code you see then next we can proceed we no need to explain each and every column because all are similar description items and all no need to validate the descriptions and all no need to validate let's see once terms name observe here till if condition if you don't understand let me know check scan line by line till here you have to observe Is that Sprite or water bottle? Sprite, huh? The water bottle is much better. Yeah, water. So can I proceed? Understood or? Sirisha? అర్థం కాలేదా? సరే. What is this? Subrec, what it is? Supply record. It's a variable, right? If supply record dot term name. So term name is what it is. We are taking a column name, right? Term name is we are taking, see, two columns over already. Supplier name is over, number is over. Next is term name. Okay. So term name is not null. Is it a null or not null? Not null. Then if it is not null, we are entering. So begin, exception and end. This is a code block syntax. This piece. Okay. Inside of a begin, what we are doing? We are taking a column name. Thank you. We are taking a column name. Which column? Two columns I am taking. That's why maybe you got confused. Term ID and name. At a time we are taking ID and name. You can take simply name also. No worries. Name. Okay. We are taking into one variable. This is a L means local variable. If you are taking any variable here, definitely we need to declare somewhere outside. See where it is exactly here. L term name. Without declaration, your program will give error. Okay. So till now, okay. Select name is the actual column. L term name is a variable from a table. Table we already discussed. AP terms TL we can take translatable language. Why? Yeah. Why is because like sometimes translatable language means all the other language also we can say in this TL translatable language. This upper function what it will do? It will convert into all capital letters. Okay. So till now, if whatever the term you are passing, if it is there in this particular table, then the value will goes into terms name. Then when no data found, I asked you initially, right? Number of exceptions. When no data found, whatever the data you are passing, if it is not at all there in the system, then immediately two flags we have, right? Error flag and error message saying that terms name does not exist for so and so supplier. And we are putting into log button also. When others then is like if something is not handled by no data found, it will take here. When others then also same term name is failed. And not only error flag updation, we are putting into log button saying that it is error. Now you understood, Sirisha? Now you have to tell me here. Come on. First, if condition. If supplier record dot terms name is not null, then begin, exception, then end. In between begin and end, one select statement is required. What is that? Select. Yes, name column. So that name, term name, these are all we have to observe the table name. AP TL where upper function name is equivalent to your supplier record dot terms name because you are passing through cursor. Clear? In the exception block, two exceptions. What are they? When no data found. Then whatever the record which is not available in the database, immediately we have to update two flags. What is that? L it is not I. Error flag, local variables. These are all. And Y. One more. L error message. Error message saying that your supplier record dot terms name concatenation pipe symbol is invalid simply. But for which supplier it is concatenation? The first time we have seen, right? Supplier record dot supplier name. Spelling mistakes just avoid, okay? And one more, when others, then same copy paste and rearrange. So again, I'm advising you, code will come by typing only. You have to install type tutor at least now to over. Anything we missed? There is one more thing, that is fnd file dot outline. It's like a DBMS output, but for Oracle applications we have to use fnd file dot log button saying that whatever the message which you wanted, terms name wrong, some meaningful message. Okay, this is the way you have to write a validation code. This is just for terms. Three columns we have validated: supplier number, supplier name, term name. If I want to validate currency, same piece of code, keep it here. Instead of terms name, so just go to toad. Okay, go to toad here. Which column I want to validate? Invoice currency, payment currency. Instead of term name, I am just replacing currency code, column name. Currency table, you know already. Depending currencies, you know. Okay, then currency code. Clear? And one more additional thing I showed you. Do you remember that for currencies only? One flag, correct? Enabled flag is equivalent to Y. If currency is not enabled, then it will not allow you to proceed further. Whatever the things here, you have to change. Currency code invalid or not enabled. This is the way we need to validate. Overall 5 columns. Invoice currency, payment currency, supplier number, supplier name and term. Clear? And go to total. Any other thing is missed here? This one, priority. Priority, one thing I told you. Double digits. It should not go beyond 99 or it should not go beyond 1. So that how they handled, I'll show you. Initially by seeing it will be tough, but it's easy, correct? Invoice currency code is over. Almost 250 lines code over now. So payment currency code also over. Then pay group. In this case, pay group we are not using. I could have disabled this, but anyway, let it be. Payment method I have disabled. Priority, see. This is the way, simply with if conditions. If priority is less than 1 or priority is greater than 99, then we have to make it error. Simple if conditions only are. So as of now, validation ended for suppliers. Then sites immediately it will start. But before starting, additional things we have to do. You read this now. If there is, read that, you will come to know. If there is an error in supplier, then update supplier and site and contact. Yes. I mean to say, if there is error in the master record, we should not proceed with the sites and contacts. Correct? That is, it means. Because it's a hierarchy, right? Relationship. Now, if you know, right, this NVL, null value. What it means, NVL? Wherever error flag is Y, as of now, we made it a Y everywhere. Then we are swapping here. From Y to E, we are swapping. Okay? Just for understanding only. Earlier it was flag is null, now it is E. Understood? So if flag, wherever flag is Y, then we are updating a staging table. Right now it is null only. As of now, null it is. This flag is null. But we are going to make, if it is error, immediately we are making it as a E. Then error message also same, where row ID is equivalent to supplier record ID, RID. RID is a row ID. On which error we got error, that we have to update. So whenever you get error, immediately what you have to do? There is a global variable, we will increment it, saying that one record got into error. Count. Okay, if there are 10, 10 also will print like this only. It is an increment, plus 1. Then update sites table with the flag is E. E means error. Validation failed in the supplier. In the same way, contacts also. See, that's what it mentioned here, right? If there is an error in the supplier, then update site and contacts also as an error. Clear? Then we need to call the error procedure. Not only staging table updation, we have a separate dedicated error table also. Correct? Then else, if it is not error, obviously opposite it is. Then that is a valid record, V. V means valid. As of now, it is null. After validation, there are two flags. One is V, other one is E. E for error, V for valid. Is that correct? Is that okay? Now, again, I'll revise this portion only after validation. After validation, 4 points we are doing. Just think. One is updating all the tables, supplier side contacts, all the tables with the error flag. That is the 1 point. Second point is incrementing the error record. And third point here is calling error procedure. If you look at somewhere here, this is what it is. It's error procedure, and initially we have seen, right? Error procedure. Only 3 points only we have to. I'll remove all these code pieces. So tell me what are the points I need to type here. After updating error table, error procedure, the C point, what we did is validations we have done. How many columns? Supplier number, supplier name, terms, term name, not terms. Okay. Column name exactly. Next, invoice currency or payment currency. Both we have. Simply not single currency. Next, payment priority. Payment priority value I told many times. Next, what are the columns? Payment status. No, payment statuses we have not. But these columns only. Do not go P2P cycle series. These columns only. See, whatever you are seeing here. Payment method is not there, but still I added the code. Not needed. Anything else? Vendor ID. ID values we will not validate. We will derive it through sequence. Okay. Anything missed? Better we'll open the code. Yeah, check number, name, term name, invoice currency. Then this pay group, I'll remove this code and send it to you. That's it. That's it. We written correctly only. Till now suppliers only. Then sites also will start. Okay. Anyway, after validations, I told you few steps. One is if master error, then details also error. Correct. I'll copy. If there is error, This much is difficult, right? To remember. If master error, we have to make detail also errors. That is the one thing. Then update rejected count or error count, whatever. One more, call error procedure. So these three things additionally we have done. Clear till now in the C. So these validations are belongs to supply record validation. So first columns validation, then followed by master record, error record, update rejected count, call error procedure. So if you are okay, then same thing applies to sites as well as contacts. So sites and contacts I am not explaining, but I'll show you now only. Go here. Validation ended for suppliers. Till now, I hope you understood. Okay, next continuation to this is this points also covered already. Now, second for loop here. First for loop we already covered. This second is for sites. This is a cursor with parameter, correct? And then second, you don't know the column names, correct? Go with the sites, these columns. Like operating unit. Better open the control file, will come to know. These columns, site name, city, state, zip, country, whatever, phone number. Okay. Those columns we have to validate. Here, go with the operating unit validation, site name. All are similar. See, explaining all this will take time. Will be time waste also. Term name, whatever you wrote, same only. Only instead of supply record, site record came here. Variable is changed. That's it. And currency code, payment currency here also. Site level also it will be same. And pay group also same. Payment method. Tolerance you don't know. It came newly. That it will be available into tolerance templates. Priority same. Whatever the piece of code you have written earlier, the same piece of code, but only instead of supply record, it is site record. Rest as it is, you can copy also, no worries. Then validation ended. After validation ended, 3 points, right? What are the things? Even if site is having error also, we should not proceed with the master. Okay, out of 3 tables, if any error, then the rest of the 2 tables we should not proceed. For that record only, I'm saying. Then update rejected count, call error procedure. Here also same story. See here. If error is Y, then update with the error flag error message. Incrementing rejected count is the second point. And third is update staging table with the error flag. And one more is call error procedure. Correct? Repetitive steps, right? 3. Same. Supplier after supplier validation, same it is. Only these two not there. Rest everything is there. This is supplier site validation. One is supplier validation, other one is supplier site validation. The same way contacts validation also. Column names will change, that we need to check. These are all will not be there. All priority and all not will be. Go with the contacts. First name, last name. Only 2 columns we are validating. And the supplier contacts, 2 columns. First name, last name of suppliers. Okay. The rest is same. See these 3 here also same, here also same, and even supplier also same. Okay. Clear. Go with the body. If you want, you can observe slowly. See, if there is a error in the contact, we are updating other tables with error messages as well as rejected count, and then error message it is, and as well as error procedure and processed count. See this point additionally added. So that means record got success. It is successfully processed here. Additional point we have to add here, that is increment processed count, successful record or processed count. This is additional point. So because record is good, supplier wise, site wise, contact wise is good. That's why it is incremented processed. So loop for contacts and loop for sites as well as loop for suppliers. So till now, all 800 lines belongs to your validation procedure only. And it is scope is local here. If you go with the specification, it is not there here. See, whatever the procedure is there, AP, supplier, site, contacts, procedure, validation procedure is not there in the specification. That means scope is local, global, local, you know, right? Now go to body. There is one more insertion procedure. This is the insertion procedure. Till now, two. Now third point I'm talking about. Third point is insertion. Second is validation. Third is insertion. Insertion procedure. We have three interface tables. I hope you are aware, right? AP suppliers in AP supplier. Correct. Last time we talked about the last class. AP. These are all the three tables. Okay. We are going to insert the data. Just insertion, plain insertion. No bulk collect and all. But here also cursors required here. Right now in this table, what are the flags you can see after validation? Yeah, either error or null. No, null means new record. We already validated now. After validation, two things I told you, right? It will be either E or V, right? E for error, V for valid record. But we require valid records only for insertion, correct? See, status flag is equivalent to V. Everywhere V. Correct? Three cursors. Then after that, insert into AP suppliers in all the columns. Values, like these are all sequences given by Oracle. Sequence dot next val. See, whatever the number you are giving, the same number we should not load. This number is 1900 is given by Oracle, by third party. So we have to maintain our own value by using sequence dot next val. In the sequences, there is one more also. Do you recall? What is the value? What is that full form? Parent value, next value. Okay. So once you increment this, it will give you the another sequential number. All the values we are inserting the same way. The moment you insert it, we have to update as a C here. So how many status flags you know as of now? First time null, second time error, third time V, and fourth time it is C. C for completed. And another for loop it is one more insert statement. Then another for loop. Three for loops required into contacts table. That's it, guys. Over. Finally, what we have to do? This insertion procedure is over. Next is main procedure. Main procedure which is available in the specification. So specification as well as body, it is a public. You can use it anywhere. So now I am going to use it into Oracle applications. So take this procedure. And in this procedure, simply we are printing all the global variables after calling validation procedure and insertion procedure. So one time validation, After that, insertion, and then you are printing how many number of records processed, found, rejected, everything. I hope you understood today. Because of this code flow, you can easily understand. Fourth is what it is. Fourth point, main procedure. In the main procedure, what we are doing, we are calling the second procedure, validation procedure. Calling is simply semicolon only. And one more, insertion procedure. That's it, semicolon, semicolon. And print global. Only it's just a 4 points, nothing much. The whole 1100 lines is 4 points only. Understood? Now, what we have to do? Call the standard program. Standard programs, if you wanted to know, there is one responsibility we have to go. What is that responsibility? Do you remember? One hour in the Kaladanga. Very good. So early gonna finish చేసినాం అయితే. You know this responsibility? ఎందుకు మర్చిపోతున్నారు దీన్ని? Correct. Same, we ought to remember, right? Recalling is important. So I no need to explain, right? Open contacts, sites, all the programs, correct? This is the next phase. Contacts, yeah. 3 concurrent programs you have to submit. If you do a package, if you call the package, it will validate and it will insert into interface tables. These 3 interface tables. Now let's submit that. But the 2 more programs pending right here, contact sites. Shall we see the files are there or not in the system? I think it's already registered with the same name. Just 5 more minutes, guys. We'll close this session today. We'll feel happy. Not there, correct? Go to system administrator. I'm registering again. Sites and contacts missed earlier in the stage 1. Not there. Okay, I'll register. Execution method. Parameter. 245. Contacts also I'm doing. Going little fast, guys. So it's there already. The site లేకుండా contacts register చేశారు ఎవరు? System కంటే స్పీడ్ ఉన్నాం మనం. File path. We gave some default, right? No. Why it is not showing? Is that correct? Site loader. Where is that contacts? Already there. Whenever you are loading, you have to make sure the same numbers 1900 1903. If you give some other, it will not be able to identify. See, wrong, right? Check. Otherwise, your cursor will not be able to pick it up. Remember this. Check the table. Data is not there. Contacts. These two tables we are going to populate. After that, we'll call a package. Just few more minutes, please. Okay. Supplier table only we loaded as of now. 1900 1903. These two I am going to populate. I already registered. Only need to submit it. Check the file. This is the file. Again, cross check before giving it. No much dependency here. Contracts also you can load. No need to follow sequence in this at this level. Okay. 1900. This practice today conversions only. No O2C, no item creations. It's error. Check what went wrong. File not found. This is wrongly mentioned. What I will do, I'll check once. This is not included, right? I think we added, but added the wrong request. Correct? Okay, payables, then it will be added into other. This thing we missed it. Okay. Contracts already loaded. Check the history here. 2 rows loaded. Contacts. Got it, right? Still it's running. Error. Column liability account does not exist in the staging table. Go to control file. This contacts better. Okay, one column extra is there here. One column is not available in the database. Execute again. Completed. Check. Loaded. Okay. Now all the tables having data. This is the only stage one only, correct? Stage one, it is what it is, file to staging. In the last class, we have loaded only suppliers, but now I loaded sites as well as contacts. Now second one is what it is, this one. Second stage I'm talking about. Second stage is, no, that is okay, but I'm telling staging to interface tables. Do you remember interface table names? Right, perfect. AP suppliers in AP suppliers, these are all. Now we are going to do with this package. In the package, we did many things: validations, error handling, insertion, everything. Okay. And straight away, I already registered as a program. Whatever the package name is there, right? Someone is registered, but you have to register it. So how to register it is simply take this package and press F5. Sorry. For registration, PLSQL stored procedure. I'll show you once, and then I'll submit. Registration part. PLSQL stored procedure we have to take. There. It is there, right? Already compiled. By pressing F5, you can compile it. Uppercase, Control U. I think it is not registered by anyone. Okay, it's there. Okay, it's already registered. It is a stored procedure. In the first stage, we have used SQL loader. In this stage, it is a PLSQL stored procedure. Now submit it. This package, what it will do? It will transfer the data from staging to interface and check the output. See, 2 records processed successfully. There are no rejected. Here also there are no rejected. Good, it is. How you printed all this? This information. Right, global variables. Global variables, you can see here. Okay. Now we are at third stage. That is interface to base table. How to transfer interface to base table? There is a program. Program name Supplier open interface import. How you identified this? By using integrated SOA gateway. So this is the last stage, and we can close the session. Okay. Tell me the program name. Supplier open interface import. Vision operations you take it. These are batch size means 1,000 records. Up to 1,000 records we are processing. Sometimes here 5,000, 10,000 also. It's a batch size. The number of records which you are going to process. Clear? Submit another request now. Fine. My explanation is also over, guys. Then tomorrow what we will do, we'll discuss about item cost conversion, sales order. I need to give you 4 more examples like this, but this much explanation not needed because you know already how to do validations, where to find out and all. The next conversions are just 15 minutes job. I no need to take much time. 15 to 20 minutes I can close. Check the output. So supplier open interface audit report successfully inserted. 2 suppliers imported. Check this from front-end application. How to check? In which navigation? Suppliers, whether it is loaded or not. Go to suppliers. Inquiry. First time I showed you, right? Very first step. Click on go. So this supplier loaded programmatically. Correct? And supplier number, what was the number we gave? 1900, right? But which one it has taken? 22. How it is taken? By using a sequence value. So if you check the package body, you can see sequence dot next val curval. For that only, like we have given the sequential value because of this. Whatever the number they are giving, that we should not load. We have to maintain our own number. How we maintain is by using sequence dot next val. Clear? So actually these programs are submitted manually, but we can submit by using one request set. It is system administrator, then not security every time, concurrent set it is. Okay, concurrent set. Now wizard, prepare wizard. I'm giving a set name is supplier conversion. Set code also same. Which module it is? Variables. Define stages or sorry. Go with the wizard better. How we wanted to submit programs? Sequentially or parallel? No, sequentially, because there is a hierarchy, right? One by one, yes, sequentially. Read this. No, the first title question. Which one I need to select? No, continue processing. Set name. Earlier I gave, but this is the correct place to give. Next, the request set name is already in use. Now, read this. Okay. Program name. All the programs, whatever you give, that we have to enter here. First one is supplier. Second is site. All programs your system will take care. Next is package, right? Package. క్లమ్జీ చేస్తారు ఈ పేర్లు అన్ని పెట్టి సో ఏంటి ఇట్లా పెడతారు ఎవరన్నా ఇది కూడా రాంగ్ this is also wrong representation. We should not keep in the concurrent programs underscores. We'll modify, okay? Next is supplier open interface import. Sorry, it's wrong. Finish. But this is the way we can create a set. Set means multiple programs. No much logic here. Go to payables. View requests. Here is the place. As of now, we are habituated to submit single, but now it is set. Provide all the parameters here. See file name, file path. So this is all I no need to explain, right? So if you simply click on submit, it will take one by one. Right now, I have not passed properly parameters. That's wrong only. See all. It will call child. It is going to give errors because I have not given parameters properly. But anyway, just to show how it will call. That's what my intention. So thanks guys for your patience. I feel it's easy now. Now it's easy, right? PLS స్కూల్ మీరు కొద్దిగా చదివింటే ఇంకా బాగుండేది. Easy one. It's like English only, right? Oracle is the easiest language. So tomorrow, day after, if you want to understand thoroughly, you have to finish today at any cost. This package, yes. Spend individually time. No group discussion. Subject తప్ప అన్ని చేస్తుంటారు group discussion అదే problem. Okay, class is over, guys. If you have a patience, let me know. I can take another topic.